What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of BKNY Hoops. If you are new to the channel, it's your boy Rashid. All right, let's get into it. Big show tonight. And we're looking at Dreamerspros evaluation of Terrance Mann, because he told me, I was listening to one of his videos some time ago, and I don't really watch the Clippers that much. I mean, these guys are on late. I'm pretty much focusing on the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, you can pay me $5-6 million a year, man. It's impossible, almost impossible, to analyze every single basketball player, all 400 players in the NBA, man. So you got to rely on people that actually really cover the sport, man, and assume that they actually really kind of know what they're talking about. So when Dreamerspro said, hey, Terrance Mann is that guy, and he's going to be a star, I'm like, all right, when the Brooklyn Nets picked him up, I mean, I was extremely excited. I was like, all right. I mean, y'all, I think y'all guys, I did a live, I don't know if it was a live stream or on the live stream, I was actually talking about it. I was like, yeah, Terrance Mann, Dreamerspro certified it, he's a Clipper fan. And so far, since he's been on the Brooklyn Nets, he hasn't looked like a star. I mean, it doesn't look like he's going to really make an all-star team or anything like that. So first of all, let's go into the actual scouting report on Terrance Mann, because there's a couple of ways that you can actually evaluate players, pretty much like maybe two ways. One, with a trained basketball eye, and two, all we got to do is look at Terrance Mann and really just compare him to other all-stars, right? What's going on, man? What's going on? Hey, listen, Jonathan, man. Dreamerspro said this guy was going to be a star. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, all right? Dreamerspro definitely knows what the hell he's talking about. He's a Clippers fan, all right? All right, man. So, again, what was I saying? So, two ways you can actually look at players: with a trained basketball eye, and then another one is we can actually compare let's say Terrance Mann to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to Cade Cunningham, to Anthony Edwards. Is he that? No. All right, and then we'll look at the scouting report, and then we'll see what the actual scouts had to say about Terrance Mann when he was coming out of college, and his NBA comparison was John Salmons and Brad Wanamaker, right? And we look at the career of Terrance Mann, and that just seems just about right, man. That actual comparison right there, man. That's about right. He's just a role player like Jonathan is alluding to, pretty much, man. So we gotta really be careful who we listen to. He doesn't watch the NBA, and he said he never played basketball before, and he ran track and field. All right, so let's get into the actual meat of the show over here, man. Let's not waste any time, and let's get into it. Hold on. Oops, wait. We're not ready for that yet. Hold on. I'm going to listen to what Dreamerspro actually has to say, and let's see. And on his thumbnail, he had put, you can guys go look at it, future star, man. All right. So let's go listen to what Dreamerspro actually has to say. I'm going to dislike his video on top of that too, man. Now we see why he actually went into the LeBron James bashing thing, because this video had 3,800 views. All right. So he's like, the Clippers aren't really that. Let's go into the whole LeBron James bashing thing, man. Let's do it. Let's listen to it.
They just haven't been playing great defense, to be quite honest with you, especially in the month of February. They were allowing opponents to score close to 109, 110 points per game. I said earlier in the season, listen, this can't happen. You can't be a championship team and play this terrible defense. This defense is poorly, except if you're going to be the Brooklyn Nets, right? Where they're not hanging, their calling card is not going to be on defense. Their calling card is going to be on offense, given the fact that they have three players averaging about 25 plus points per game. That on any given night can get you between 75 to 100 points in any given night. They also have some great role players like Joe Harris Brown. With the addition of Blake Griffin, and now I just heard that they were able to pick up LaMarcus Aldridge. So they have a nice mix. Landry Shamet as well. So they have a nice blend.
All right, so he was talking about the Brooklyn Nets back then. This video was 4 years ago, and he was pretty much saying how the Brooklyn Nets really couldn't play defense at all, and they were the exception to the rule, and they can actually win without playing any defense. Man, you got to play defense, man. In basketball, you have to guard, man.
Of veterans and star players and role players. I think.
And by the way, the Nets role players, that was put around Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, were all ass. They pretty much actually sucked, man. I mean, they were like rejects. I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge was over the hill. Blake Griffin. I mean, he gave you some good minutes, but in a 7-game series, you can expose the weaknesses in his offensive game that he doesn't really have. So there wasn't really good role players.
Players that kind of understand their position. You see Blake Griffin is fitting into the role really well with the Brooklyn Nets. So if you're going to be that team that can score, a tremendous amount of points, then you're kind of the exception to the rule. But traditionally, you would need to be a great defensive team, and that's something that we haven't seen from the Clippers. However, there has been a bright spot. There has been a bright spot for the Clippers, and that has been their young player in Terrance Mann. Now, early in the season, I spoke about some of the issues that they have from the point guard position. One of the guys I always omitted from my criticism was Terrance Mann. First of all, Terrance Mann is a second-year player, so how much criticism?
Every basketball player, man, I'm critical of myself. I'm really my worst critic, when I play basketball, man. I mean, there's certain things that I'm not doing well or I have to work on. I mean, every basketball player you can criticize. LeBron James and Michael Jordan, who couldn't shoot threes. LeBron James, who can get better at the free throw line. Jokic. I mean, every basketball player in the world you can actually criticize. They all have weaknesses they can actually work on.
And blame. Are you going to be looking to put on a tweet on the second-year guy? I thought it would have been ridiculous if Clippers fans and the public would start blaming, Terrance Mann for some of their problems. Like that would be absurd. Now we're blaming a sophomore in the NBA. Listen, I love Terrance Mann. He's a young player out of Florida State. He's in his second year with the team. And listen, this guy plays great defense. Okay, he has a lot of length to him. He seems like a really smart basketball player overall, like he has a high IQ. But he's also a great playmaker. If I look at Terrance Mann right now, I think he has some great size to him. Terrance Mann is 6'5", playing the point guard or the 2 guard. Sometimes he can handle the ball and bring the ball up the court. But a 6'5" point guard and an athletic point guard.
6'5" point guard. Terrance Mann is a point guard. All right, that one is a head scratcher to me. All right, you could say basketball is positionless, right? Let's say sometimes they'll trap 94 feet, or they'll let's say come up, let's say 80 something feet, and they'll get the ball out of the primary ball handler's hands, and then Terrance Mann has to bring the ball up the court. But in no way, shape, or form is Terrance Mann a point guard.
Weighing 215 pounds. They got a very nice player. He's also very, very athletic. He plays with a lot of enthusiasm. Whenever he's in the game, a lot of good things tend to happen for the Clippers team. It's something that I've noticed. Rarely you see negative things happening with him. And when he does make mistakes, he's always trying to do the right thing. You rarely see him have unforced turnovers. He plays great transition defense. The defense he gets back on defense. He contests shots. He's very good at going to the rim and finishing at the rim. The only thing holding him back really is a lack of experience, and he hasn't put up enough reps yet. Right? You can't expect the second-year guy to be as good as he is. That he's going to be in his 8th year, right? He just hasn't.
Paolo Banchero, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. I could think of a lot of players who are really good in their second year. You could just look and tell that, okay, and these guys are really, really good, man. Cade Cunningham, Luka, when he first came out, I guess. Kyrie, you could tell. Luka's a foul baiter. Let me take Luka out of there, man. Kyrie Irving.
Practice enough. He hasn't built his body to where it needs to be yet. But he's still a very young guy. And in the absence of Patrick Beverley, who's been out of the lineup, their starting point guard, because of injuries, Terrance Mann has been able to get some minutes. And also with the inconsistent play that we've been witnessing, or that we witnessed in the past from Luke Kennard, Terrance Mann has been able to get an opportunity to go out there and show the world what he's got. And listen, he has really, really, really impressed. Terrance Mann has been a very bright spot for this team. If we think about the comeback that they had against the Atlanta Hawks, Terrance Mann was one of the main reasons for that, him and Luke Kennard. We forget, but Terrance Mann and Luke Kennard spearheaded that attack, that comeback, and he hit some big shots. We also forget that he hit a very big, important momentum-breaking play when he hit the three from the corner to actually give the Clippers the lead, I believe it was, in that game. Terrance.
All right, so what really matters for players and what determines their value in terms of stardom is how they impact in a 7-game series, man. Nobody cares about a regular season game, bro. I mean, we don't know if the Atlanta Hawks was actually playing real defense. They could have been like a back-to-back scenario. I mean, this is 4 years ago. He had a good game. I mean, he was hitting shots. I mean, we seen Caris LeVert on the team. He got 51 points. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember that. And look at Caris LeVert now. He averages like 10, 11 points per game now. He's a backup, but he did have a 51-point game. So, I mean, there's times you can get hot as a role player, man. And especially getting like 50 in today's NBA with all the ticky-tack fouls and everything. And like, come on, man. If you could do that back in, like, let's say that it was the early 90s, before they when they were actually allowing hand checking, then all right, that you're saying something.
Man, listen, the guy has been playing very well. Last night against the Philadelphia 76ers, a very good team. Even without Joel Embiid, they're still a very good team. He went out there and did his thing. If I tell you what he scored in that game, I don't know if it was a career high for him. I'm not sure. But if I can pull up his statistics here. So he scored 23 points in that game. Okay. He had 0 turnovers for a sophomore. He had 1 assist in that game. No, he had 1 assist, 3 rebounds in that game. He shot 33% from the free throw line, but he only attempted 3. He made 1 out of 3. But he shot 100% from the 3-point line. He made, of his 2 attempts from the 3-point line, he made them, right? And Terrance Mann is a young player. He's a guy that we've kind of been overlooking because we've been busy looking at the more experienced players that they have on their team. But listen,
maybe I got it wrong, man. I don't know. I mean, maybe I did overlook.
And I think they have a hidden gem on this team. I think if they continue to develop him, if he continues to build his self-confidence, and now with the addition of Rajon Rondo, somebody he can actually look up to, at least on an NBA level, somebody that's actually accomplished a lot of things in his career. You see that he said he had his Rajon Rondo's rookie card or player card with him in his wallet. I think he's even going to get better because Rajon Rondo is going to help him get smarter. He's going to be a good influence on him, I think, as a basketball player. And you have other guys around him that he could.
Signs of a weak basketball player when someone needs to actually set you up, man. If you're a superstar player, like Dreamerspro saying that he's going to be a star, if you actually look at the thumbnail of this video, he's going to be a star. Then you look at the comment section. Let's look at the comment section over here because he actually, let's see over here, man. He actually says that, he's going to be a star. He respond over here. Oh, man has become a great player already. He's developing to that pass. Let me see. Yeah, he's been improving. All right. So, I mean, they traded his ass, man, pretty much, so, all right, let me get the link up here. So listen, man, be careful who you actually listen to when it comes to analyzing basketball. But I found this really, really hilarious, man. Let me get the link in here for you guys. Where's Jonathan? I get on up in here. I didn't really get a chance to watch the Boston game. Let me look at the actual stats. I know they won, but I'm back on my coaching thing. So I was, this time of the year, I coach. Now this year I got the boys, so I'm coaching 5th and 6th grade kids. Some boys there. So we had our first practice today. So didn't really watch the game, but let's see the actual stats of the game. And I got a couple more shows. We're going to get into Jordi Fernandez and how he's been like totally obliterating the rookies, man. Like, I mean, Jordi Fernandez really thinks that this team, as currently constructed, is going to go to make a playoff seed or something like that, man. What's going on, Jonathan?
Hey, BK, how's Papa Life treating you?
Whoa, we got 2 people on the live stream today, man. Woo-wee. All right, all right.
So the topic of the day is Terrance Mann, huh?
I had to throw this out here, man, because the Nets are like, was it 3-11 now? And Terrance Mann, when he first got here, I was like, okay, Dreamerspro vouched for this guy. He said he was going to be a future star. And I'm like, cool, man. I'm like, we, you know, like I was on the live stream talking about this, man. I mean, let me see.
Listen, Terrence Mann has to go. I've seen 12 games of this. This guy is not a starter whatsoever. I don't know what money Jordy owes him, but please give him the money and send him on his merry way because he's not making this team better. He's only had 2+ performances out of like 11 games. He doesn't score in a lot of ways. He's not a point guard. This point guard stuff's got to end. He's either a scoring guard or a small wing, which isn't that good at all at the 3, but that's not even great value. He's not a point guard whatsoever. Drake Powell, I don't know if you've been watching the game. Drake Powell's been on an excellent uprise right now. He's defensively guarding Desmond Bain, Cade Cunningham, Peyton Pritchard, Anthony Simmons. He's doing pretty much everything to be the starting 2 guard right now. And for some weird reason, Jordy's moved him to starting 2 job next to Yegor, which isn't a balance whatsoever. How can you have 2 guards in the team and one of them you're saying is a point guard? And then Nick Claxton said something weird. Was like, we need Terrance Mann at the point guard. I'm like, you have 6'8" Yegor next to you. Why do you need a guy who's not a point guard? So, yeah, BK, listen, the only reason we took on Terrance Mann was so we could get the draft pick. That was the compensation for taking on his $15 million salary. But if Jordy really wanted to raise his value, make him a backup 6-man or something at this point. He's not a starting 2 guard whatsoever. He doesn't run the floor well. And listen, when he was with the Clippers, he had a few good games, but they traded for Fat Suit Harden, BK, and blasted this guy off to Atlanta. Like whatever Dreamerspro saying about this guy, listen, I think he had hope that this guy could be something, but he's more of a supporting character than anything special, and that's just what we've seen.
I mean, Dreamerspro does have a really large size audience, and it seems like he knows what he's talking about, right?
Yeah, this is what he's talking about. This is stats so far for Terrance Mann. 9.4 points. That's 150th in the league. 3.1 rebounds. That's 150th in the league. 3.4 assists. Wow, it's actually 72 in the league. So, okay, he has some sort of playmaking chops, but this guy is 29 years old. What the guys say, he's a young hidden gem. That's young. Like, come on. We have Drake Powell, who I think right now, BK, is our steal of the draft right now. He's defensive, athletic. He's showing he could score in different ways. He could dunk the ball. He's got a one-legged mid-range shot. He's working on a 3. Like, this guy's making a case to Jordy why he could be the starting 2.
He looks like he's small. Yeah, he looks like he's 6'3". Like, when I look at him, like when I look at like Jalen, was it Jalen? Who's that dude on Atlanta? Jalen. Like we need those type of athletes, man. Like 6'8", 6'9" like long arms, hyper athletic. Like I
There's
like
a lot of them.
I just don't see that that type
in the backcourt. He fits the backcourt very well. I'm not talking about him being in a front court whatsoever, but he's great in the backcourt. He could handle guarding the best scoring guards in this NBA right now, or even some point guards. So, like, Drake Powell definitely adds to the defensive system. But I agree that the front court of MPJ, Clowney, Claxton, it's shown some results on the defensive metrics, but with Claxton and MPJ as your 2 number 1 temporary guys, you know that's not a recipe for success. I know some people want to keep both of them as role guys going forward, but you have to consider their trade value situations. And like you said, you need a 6'9", 6'11" big wing in that front court. And then in next year's draft, there's the Bassa, there's Boozer, Caleb Wilson, and Nate Amont. That's 4 out of 5 that are 6'9", 6'11". So you want to get one of those guys in next year's draft. But if we keep winning games like we do, we might actually miss out on that, which would set us back a little bit. So I agree. You need one of those big wings.
I think Jordy Fernandez's ego is going to make sure that we actually get into the draft. I wouldn't worry about winning a lot of games. I don't think this team is.
We're beating the bad teams, though.
I mean, this is like a depleted Boston team. Were they playing a back-to-back? Let's see how.
We played them the previous game, so I guess obviously there was some reports that they looked at from the first game.
Noah Clowney had 19-something points. I got to watch this game. I'm going to watch it tomorrow morning. I got to see if Boston was really playing hard, man. I mean, Nick Claxton. Yo, for like I've been seeing like I've been watching the previous games. I mean, why like drop back on Claxton? Why are you playing up on Claxton? Like why? He can't shoot. Like he's not a 3-point shooter. Like drop back. Like why? I don't know, man. What's going on with some of these
It
guys?
took 7 years for him to have a triple double, and I guess he is hitting that Sabonis window a bit with what Jordy wanted. But I think you and I know what Claxton's strengths and weaknesses are, and this is why I say to people: right now, in a bad team, he's finally hitting a stride. But at the end of the day, you got to look at the big competition: the Jalen Durans, the Nikola Jokers. If we want to beat the best teams eventually, is Claxton your interior paint threat to stop those guys? I still don't think so, BK. But I know some people want to keep him busy with what he's doing right now, but besides the improved free throws and the improved assists, has anything drastically changed about Claxton's game the last 7 years, BK? I haven't seen a huge difference from what I've usually seen from Claxton. He can do a Euro step, he can dribble the ball, but now he's doing it because he has to get his value up because the last 2 years have been really mediocre for him. So I'm
Well,
glad he's doing it now, but you have to remember, too, is there anything different besides improved free throws and playmaking that's really elevated Claxton's game? That's
yeah,
the thing.
hold on. That player one. Does he look 6'5" to you? He looks more like he's 6'3". Uh, um, Drake
He's
Powell.
way more than 3-and-D player one. He could dunk. He's got a mid-range. You saw the one-legged mid-range tonight. He can finish through contact. I'm seeing him make multiple layups where he's fighting through physical contact to score, and he's not being affected by it. So, player one, this guy is way more than 3-and-D. He is the steal of the draft, one of our only athletes on this team. I agree with BK. The front court eventually needs to be figured out, but backcourt-wise, Powell and Yegor, that's my 1 and 2 right now. I'm not changing that. And this Terrance Mann stuff, he needs to get the heck away from our starting backcourt because it's not
I
all
mean,
building anything there.
he had a decent game. I mean, he had an
Like
impact
six
on
and
winning.
six. That
Yeah, he
that's
had
nothing
6
huge.
assists,
That could be off my bench. I don't need that in my
6
starting lineup.
rebounds, a triple single over here. These are like little Draymond numbers here. And
Damon,
plus
yikes.
minus numbers. He was a plus 12. So again, I got to watch the game. I got to see like how Boston was really playing. Did they take this serious? Not serious or not? But the Jalen Brown, he actually played okay. I mean, I'm surprised over here, man. All right.
Yeah.
And Yegor actually played pretty well. 12 points, 5 out of 10.
He's getting way more assertive, Yegor. I don't know if you've seen some of the games. He's going to the mid range more. He's finishing through contact. He played some defense today. He had a block, a steal. Like his playmaking also is taking off. Like he's getting stronger and confident. A lot of
Yeah, I
people
just
like
want
giving
to
him so much
see.
crap.
I
Man.
mean, Diego is really like the only bright spot out of those rookies.
Him and
And
Powell are the bright spots. They're both bright spots right now, respectively.
again, you got to look at the other players around the league, man. Look at Atlanta's roster. Look how long. Like look at the length, man. That Atlanta has. I mean, Drake doesn't have that. I mean, he's decent. He's okay, but
Above DC. He's guarded Kate Cunningham, Desmond Bain, Anthony
we
Simons, and
lost.
Payne Pritchard.
We
We
lost.
beat Boston because of his defense, and he actually held his own again in that Magic series, that Magic game. So he's giving you a lot of bright spots. It's just what the problem is, BK. They're not letting Drake Powell do a lot of offensive sets. But I saw a game where he had 3 straight buckets, and it's like, damn. Why not run the offense through this guy because he's your most athletic person, not just have him playmaking shoot threes. So I think you'd be cheering on Powell more if they did let him be a part more of the offensive sets. But that's on Jordan because
No,
he has
I
to
want
pass the
all the
ball around.
rookies, man. I want all the rookies to actually do that because you got to build a roster. You got to build a future team. I mean, all right, so you're not going to really find any stars in this draft pretty much, but you can make these guys into like, let's say solid role players in the next 2 or 3 years. Like you can take like, what's his name? Nolan Troyer and turn him into like a 3rd string point guard. And he can give you like 10 to 15, decent minutes, good quality minutes. I mean, that's a win right there, man.
He could be our 6th man. I think Nolan, if he gets the confidence and the physicality fix, I think he's your 6th
It's going
man.
to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. But if he can turn into like a good 3rd string point guard, that's a win-win. But Jordy Fernandez, the way he's treating the rookies, he's going to really sack these guys' confidence, man. Like basketball, you have to be confident, man. You can't. Good.
I agree with you, and it's so stupid because wasn't Jordy one of the people smiling and dancing with Sean and Josiah on draft night, saying, "Oh, we drafted 3 point guards. Look at this, we're geniuses." But you don't even play them, and this is my problem. You could have drafted wings in this draft. You had Ryan Kalkbrenner right there, BK. You had Asa Noel. You had all these different pieces you could have drafted, but no, we had to draft 3 point guards because we needed all these
Well,
playmakers.
that's
No,
what I
we
was
didn't
saying
need
in
all
the
these
last
playmakers.
live stream I did 7 days ago. That get the hyper athletic guys, man. Like look at Atlanta's roster. Get that type of length and athleticism and develop that. Don't be developing no below the rim, non-athletic, undersized guys, man. Like we have to match up. You got to match up to like a Jalen Brown over here, man.
Hey, I give it to Yegor. He went to the rim against Brown today, and Brown was defending him. So I give Yegor a lot of credit for just getting through the force on Brown. That was a really good play from him. Like,
Yeah.
he's developing there. Listen, I think Yegor and Powell should be the backcourt going forward. It's just like I agree with you with Jordy. Like, I feel like he's got some type of imposter syndrome where he thinks he's like a Greg Popovich, where he has to play all the vets. But this is the problem.
Let me see. Did Boston play a back to back? No, they didn't play a back to back. All right, so it's a good quality
They
win,
have
man.
no shame.
Yeah, it was
Just
a good
with us.
quality win. A good quality win over here.
Right now.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Jonathan.
The triple treat box is back, so you can holiday as hard as.
BK, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
All
No,
right.
there was
Yeah, it's like
What were you thinking? Holiday harder with the triple treat box.
There's a video going on.
Yeah, no, hold on. Yeah, let me reload it. I don't know why that's.
Yeah,
All right,
like the only problem is Jordy is stopping the development somewhat. Tonight, though, this win felt like the first win where development mattered. Clowney, Yeager, and Powell all had positive minutes. It was a total of 39 points from them. Like, you put that with Claxton and MPJ, that's what got you to the finish line, is that there was development tonight. But still, it took over 12 games for Yegor to hit a 29-minute mark. And I get because of the injury, they were being cautious, but this guy was good for like the last 2 weeks. And I just feel like for Jordy, you got to play your rookies more. This Tyrese Martin, Terrance Mann, and Jalen Wilson crap, like, that was what was pissing people off, because it's like these are movable journeyman vet pieces, yet you're playing them over these young guys. You don't get their values up. BK, realistically, besides MBJ and Claxton, are any of these other vets' values going to be tremendously great playing them 30 minutes a night? That was a huge problem with Jordy in the beginning of the season. I feel like he's starting to figure it out a little bit, but this is why the trade deadline can't come soon enough for us. We got to move off some of these vets so guys like Danny Wolf could get in this a little bit too. That guy's just sitting in the G League at this point, and he's ready to go.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Danny Wolf. So, I mean, Jody Fernandez's explanation for that was that he trusts Noah Clowney. He's seen him. But, I mean,
that's starting,
I see Danny Wolf too. And I think Danny Wolf actually has a lot of value to bring, to the roster. But I mean, for now, listen, Noah Clowney's actually, working. Let's see the rest of the next schedule over here.
Yeah, man. Clowney's good as the 4, but backup. That's my thing with Jordy. You can find backup minutes for the guy, not playing 2 minutes, making him clap his hands for 4.5 quarters. That was so stupid. Don't call the guy up if you're only going to play him 2 garbage minutes. That's not gaining experience. That's actually ruining confidence, like you just said. This is my thing, though, with Wolf. The only way he's going to get called up is if one or Claxton or Dayron goes. And I could see an argument if they decide to keep Claxton, but Dayron, he has trade value in the market. It feels like one of them has to go for Wolf to get a call up. It's unfortunate for Dayron in this case, but if he has to go to get Wolf up, it's something to think about at this point, because you cannot have Wolf staying in the G League when he's ready to get actual minutes. He's a point center, something this organization has never had. You look at the Senguns and Sabonis's. I think Wolf, if he was getting actual playing time, he could fill up a stat sheet on points, assists, and rebounds. It took 7 years, BK, for Claxton to just hit 1. Imagine what Wolf could do if he got the playing time.
Yeah, I think coming out of college, he was shooting 33% from the 3-point line, which is definitely better than Nick Claxton and definitely better than Noah Clowney, who was shooting 27.5%.
Right.
Yeah, man. So I mean, they, I didn't think this was going to be a good game. I mean, I could have made a more concentrated effort to go watch this, but I was like, I mean, it's a Boston team, and but shout out to the Brooklyn Nets, man. They actually really won this game. Look, Diego Demon got to be able to get to the free throw line. He has 0 free throws. I mean, but again, like on a plus minus department, he was a 9. Like he was a +9. And like Jody Fernandez really yanked them out of the starting lineup a couple of times. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Let him finish the game.
Well, he did tonight, thankfully. Thankfully, tonight they were playing in the fourth quarter. Like, you got to take the training wheels off.
Man, like, hey.
Oh, he's made Marks look like one of the biggest clowns in the NBA. You draft 5 rookies, a record, and you don't even want to play half of them. Like, there's something going on there with Jordy and the front office. Like, they seem like they want to finally tank, but Jordy's like, nah. I signed up to win games when we had Bridges. Now you want me to, no. Like, that's the problem, though. Why did you hire a guy that wanted to win if that was not your intention?
This is what I was saying, and player one makes really an excellent point, man. Like, I keep saying this, basketball is about matchups. If I go out there on the court and I say, yo, I got next, and I get my 3 together, or 4-on-4, or 5-on-5, and we gotta go up. But my teammates are like 6 foot, 5'11", 5'9", and the other team is like 6'9", 6'8". I mean, I can't, and we get blown out. I can't run it back with the same team. I have to get, better players to match up with the players I'm going up against, man, or I'm going to lose. I'm trying to win. Like, I don't know what's up with Sean Marks really looking at the rest of the league and saying, oh, this is going to work over here, man. This is going to be better than Atlanta's roster and Cleveland's roster. And yeah, man.
Here's what I would say to, because I know there's a lot of friends of mine that are pro tankers. We're not going to out tank the Wizards. Wizards are unselfish and wanting to tank badly.
It doesn't matter, man.
The worst record guarantees you at least top 5, but now we have the 5th odds, like anywhere from 2 to 7. It could either get you lucky somehow with a top 3 or get you a top 7. And if we miss out on top 5 again, BK, that trade with the Rockets was just as bad as the Celtics trade we made, trading away Tatum and Brown for nothing. Like, you cannot get your own picks back, not do the process right, and get middle-tier guys that are fine middle-tier guys, but you need a franchise guy. Like you said, we want to eventually win, and if MPJ and Claxton are my temporary 1 or 2 guys, I'm going nowhere fast. And I get people like them as role guys, but BK, you have to admit too, these guys are making a combined $60 million. They're both probably worth the first-round pick right now. I know people like their production right now, but you got to think about flexibility. You got to think about players that fit your front court. And if you get a Bonsa, Boozer, or Caleb Wilson, one of MPJ, Clowney, Claxton either has to get traded, or you move them to a bench role, which they might or might not want to do. So there could be changes coming. It's just people got to be flexible. We had Cam Johnson and Dennis Schroeder last year. They looked good on this team. Look at them now elsewhere. They're not even doing anything. Like, these guys are doing
it. Jr., I mean, Sean Marks has actually really hit a home run out of the park, man. I mean, he hit the baseball. I mean, he's been playing excellent, man. And again, Cam Thomas, right? Study Michael Porter Jr., right? Study him. Study him and how he actually moves without the basketball. He scores out of triple threat. What else? He can catch and shoot. He can come off screens.
His rebounding is really good. He's a really good rebounder. Like,
exactly, man. So Cam Thomas, and he's playmaking. So I love Michael Porter Jr. So now if you can get like a AJ DeBonsta next year or Cameron Boozer, and then you part on with Michael Porter Jr., and then you look at the 26th draft, the Nets could be right back in this thing. I'm not saying they win a championship or anything like that, but Jody Fernandez has to really, like develop these rookies, because you're not going to get a chance to draft like a whole bunch of other guys, man.
Right, and that's the thing with MPJ. Like, he's actually put us in a great position. You could keep the contract, let him run it out, and you get cap space.
No, I keep him. Because you're not going to find anybody in the draft that's going to be able to replicate like what Michael Porter Jr. can do.
I get that, but I'm just saying that he's put us in a great position. You can choose to move off him if you want to get a big star upgrade. You can choose to keep him if you let the contract run out. If he's willing to come back on a slight discount, he could be a 3rd or 4th option. I'm fine, BK, if he's your 3rd or 4th guy, if you do get draft well in next year's draft, or go after a star and MPJ's like your Chris Middleton, let's say. I'm fine with that. It's just, I think you have to choose between one of him or Claxton to trade this upcoming winter, because I don't think their values on the trade market will be this good. I think they're each worth the first at least right now, but I do agree. Who would you rather trade more right now, MPJ or Claxton? I feel like Claxton, just because you have Danny Wolf in the waiting, you could go after another big time
Well,
center
hold on,
if you're
man.
ready to compete.
Claxton just started to have this sort of resurgence. We need to see a large sample size of this, man. Not
He's had
like
7 years though to
not
see what he
12.
can do.
Yeah, I mean, he's been trashed for the last, and maybe he's been listening to the show. Trust me, they're listening to the show, man. I mean, they are listening to the show because nobody was harder on Nick Claxton than I was.
Right.
And he said, yeah, he listened. I'm in the off season. I'm gonna hold you, like I said, I'm gonna hold you accountable. This is not me hating on anyone, you know. I'm my own biggest critic when I play basketball, man. I'm hard on myself, man. So I'm gonna be hard on other players. That's just my own son, I'm hard on him. So that's just how it is, man. You have to get better as a basketball player, man.
Right.
So you gotta see, in order to get any kind of value out of Nick Claxton, you gotta see, like, this has to be the whole year, you know, that he's putting up these kind of numbers.
Well, we have till February 5th, and he's on the right track right now. And I even said he had to get his value, but I'm just saying,
I think longer than that, man.
I'm just saying you don't want those two guys making combined $6 million. If you could cut that in half and keep one of them, it gives you the perfect flexibility going into next summer to sign a few more vet guys, actual winning vet guys, because we have no reason to lose going forward after next year. But if you do trade Clax, I think you could get a center in the open market eventually. Or maybe you get another first-round draft pick in next year's draft, and maybe you find a center there. I just feel like you can't have both of them on your team right now because they're making over $60 million on your cap bill, and that's not a recipe for failure. But I'm willing to keep MPJ as a third or fourth option if he's willing to come back on a discount. But who knows what MPJ really? He's considering semi-retirement.
The way he's playing, I mean, he doesn't really, like, you know, he doesn't hold on to the basketball. Like, if you have, like, he's the perfect basketball player, man. Like, I just love the way he really plays, man. I mean, he doesn't have to, like, you know, over dribble the basketball. And if you're trying to get into the NBA, I mean, just study his, because not everybody's going to be AJ DeBonster, you know. They could be players like that like let's say the best player on their college team or their high school team, and then when you get into the NBA, you know, you're not that guy. But if you could play like Michael Porter Jr., man, there's definitely a place for you in the league, man. All right, so RL Rodriguez is saying, bro, you don't know ball. He was shitting on Clax before the season started, saying he hasn't improved. Again, it's like I said he said he's been working on his game, man.
He's been working on his game, but as your number one option, look at our record. It is what it is, and I'll give Clax
I mean, what's the impact on winning, man? That's the main thing that really matters. Mr. Rodriguez, you one of those guys that we're out there, we're hooping, we're playing basketball. You know, you get 6 points and we actually win the game. You mad because you didn't get 20-something points. So you rather get 20 points and actually lose than 6 points and actually really win the game. Or you one of those kind of guys. Oh, okay, I got you, Rodriguez.
My only thing with Claxton is I appreciate the improved gameplay. I just don't see nothing that's been, whoa, this guy's completely transformed his game where he could shoot twos, he could shoot threes, like he can be that all-around big to guard the best bigs. We have to remember, if we want to win eventually, look at who he has to eventually face in a playoff situation. Jalen Duran, that dude is a freaking Shaq-ish version if I've ever seen one. Bam Adebayo is still playing at a high level. Giannis, who's more of a forward, but he's still a big that Claxton likes to duke it out with. But OKC, they got Chet Holmgren. Nuggets, they have Joker. The Rockets, they have Steven Adams, who's, you know, a rock in his own way. Like, there's a lot of opposing bigs that if you were in a finals or a deep playoff situation, is Claxton going to be that big that could be the interior paint against some of those bigs? Wembanyama, like, there's a special class of top bigs in this NBA that you have to run through if you want to win it all. And
hold on, Jonathan. That was always been my case about Nick Claxton. I know he had some skill. It's just that I didn't like his frame. You know, I mean, you can go watch all the shows I did on Nick Claxton. My main thing is that he's just too skinny, and he just doesn't match up to like the bigger, you know, beefier centers out there, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Against him, they had third string centers like let's say what was that dude's name on the Knicks? The third string center. What was the guy's name? Fuck.
He's the guy that's on the books right now. I know who you're talking about. He was
he averages 5 points a game, but then when he played Claxton, he had like 12 or 13. So you got to be able to hold guys, you know, right around their averages. So for guys averaging 12 points a game and he plays you and he scores 30, I mean, that's a problem. That's a you problem as a defender.
Right, and somebody even said that Claxton played good defense on Wemby, and I'm like, Wemby dropped 31 points against us. Like, how did he hold him down exactly? I was trying to figure out if that was humor or something. It was probably like a little bit of both. Listen, I like what Claxton gives you, but here's the thing about Claxton: he's neither a center or a power forward. He's something in the middle. And in positionless basketball, if you have another big next to him like Clowney, which I think Clowney starting with him has really helped Claxton's game a lot, because Claxton, as a lone big, he gets ate up a lot by the other opposing bigs. But with another big, his game has been a lot better. But you need an actual center if you want to beat the best of the best. And we don't have that with Claxton, unfortunately. That's my only worry.
If Claxton could shoot, if he can get a jumper, man, I mean,
right.
he would be so valuable, man, because like those big guys like Joel Embiid, they don't want to play on the perimeter. I like his frame. Like, let's say if he had a jumper, if he can knock like 37% of his threes down, and then he does have some skill in terms of be able to actually like put the ball on the floor. I think like the last couple of years, maybe he wasn't getting the touches. So when he did get the ball, he didn't, make read defenses, see where the help was actually coming from, and he would turn the ball over a lot. But I think he's being a lot more patient now, reading where the help is coming from, and then passing, making like really high level passes. So
his playmaking has been really good. Like, he's going back into his point guard bag, but I think this is what Jordy envisioned, him being like a Sabonis type player, and you're actually starting to see it. So I will give Claxton his credit. I will give Jordy his credit, because that was the one thing I think Jordy's been true about, was this was going to be Claxton's best year of his career, and so far everything is adding up. But my thing is this: his career high right now this season is 15 points. That's good. That's fine. But is that what's eventually going to beat the best opposing big on different teams when you're trying to make a deep playoff run?
If he doesn't like provide you anything on offense, as we witnessed, and I covered the games, doesn't provide you any offense and doesn't provide you any defense. And like, yeah, he doesn't belong in the league, man. And you have to have like something. Come on, man, talk to me. You're better than this, man. You're better than this.
He's definitely got trade value. I don't know what team will go after him per se, because a lot of teams that could have traded for him, they're semi-tanking right now. So like, there's maybe one or two teams that are trying to compete for something that might make a run at him, but it's what you're going to get back, probably a first and expiring salary, which I'm fine with this point. It's just, we have Danny Wolf in the wings right now, and it's like, if Claxton's here, Danny Wolf's whole like trajectory gets blown to bits. So it's like, we have to ask ourselves: is Claxton worth it to stay at the expense of Danny Wolf?
Talk to me. How am I hating? Please explain to me how I'm hating. I'm giving Claxton his flowers. What are you talking about? I'm not hating on the guy. I'm actually saying he did a really, really good job. And come on, listen, he has one triple double, and you're gonna forget about all of the other bad 3 or 4 years.
You know what's funny? What's funny? Joker averages a triple double every game, and people take that for granted. And it's like, how hard it is for some people to average triple doubles, and he's done it once. It's like, imagine some of the other bigs who are just really good at it, but they just get taken for granted. Like, imagine having a big like that, they could average a triple double every night. We'd be in a way different position.
I said on previous shows, since the season started, Claxton does have some value, right? Because in terms of his frame, he can switch on to the guards, the elite guards, and really disrupt their efficiency somewhat. I've seen Claxton get pushed by Donovan Mitchell. I mean, he put like
saw him get bullied by Durant a week ago. Did you see him against Durant?
Yeah.
There was like no interior protection.
I have goldfish memories, man. But if he's actually improving, man, like I said before, Claxton, if he can shoot the basketball, I mean, he would be like a huge. It would be like Tony Kukoc was to the Bulls in the 90s, right? Because
I saw his
when Tony Kukoc, he was ahead of his time. Those big men back then, they couldn't guard a guy like Tony. They didn't have like the Bam Adebayos, the bigs that can actually move laterally. So the Bulls had an advantage with Tony Kukoc. He was like a cheat code somewhat, man. He could take guys with the dribble. He could shoot threes. He can handle the ball. He could play make. So if Claxton can actually really shoot the basketball, I mean, those big guys are not going to want to come out there on the perimeter, and he's going to have high percentage 3-point looks, man. So I'm not hating on. I just want the guy to get better, man. I'm not hating on Claxton. I just want to
That's
see
the
him get
thing.
better.
I feel like this is the complete best version we'll ever see of Claxton. My worry is if you do keep him, will he replicate this the following year? He's never been consistent without stars, without real guards around him to really elevate his game like he is right now. So
Well, if
I
he
think
can shoot, listen, if he can shoot a jumper, man, like if he can
he
shoot jump
can't.
shots,
He can't. I've seen him take 3-point
he
attempts this
wouldn't
year.
need to be
BK,
set up.
they don't even touch rim. His threes don't even touch rim.
Because
That's how
if he was like a 38, 39% 3-point shooter,
never gonna happen.
teams are going to actually have to make adjustments, man. Like he can actually force teams to go smaller, because he's hitting 3-point shots. And again, I seen even like a Khalil Ware. I was watching one game of him last year, and you look at his frame. He's not like 260, 280 pounds. He's not one of these slow plotting centers. I mean, he can guard the perimeter. And the guy I forgot who he was playing defense against. He didn't want to go out and then the person he was guarding kept shooting threes, and that's Khalil Ware. He didn't want to go out on the perimeter, man. It's brutal having to guard that perimeter. So if Claxton can actually shoot the basketball, man, keep Claxton, man. Keep him.
I just listen. I appreciate everything he's doing. It's just I don't know if he's the big that you want winning the title with you, just because you have to go against the Durants, the Jokers, and
making his free throws. I see he improved in the free throws. I was watching.
Free throws are great. His free throws have been so much easier.
He's been working on his game, man. Yeah.
No, he has. It's just we have to ask ourselves: is Claxton at 26, about to be 27? Is this the version that we believe he can replicate for at least another 4 years before he hits the 30s, starts regressing? That's what you have to ask yourselves. Like, I'm fine with what he's giving you right now. It's just you really have to get a star player that you could pair next to him that can really utilize him to replicate this, or else it's going to be tough to expect Claxton to be your best defensive big because he's not really a defensive full-on center. He's a mix of an undersized power forward.
Well, listen, my thing with Nick Claxton, can he just get us through a regular season, man? Right? And then he can work on the other limitations, because teams will scout him, and you see the scouting reports I pull up. I mean, they break your game down to the molecule, man, the molecule. So any kind of weaknesses and things like that, I mean, they can exploit it. So if Claxton right now can get us through a regular season and into like not this year, and we don't want Claxton to really have a breakout season this year, but let's say next year, we get AJ DeBonster or even Cameron Boozer. Now, Darren Peterson, we got to really look at him because is he better than Cade? Is he better than Shea?
People are giving him Kobe treatment, but I'm like, I got to see what he really does in a full year before I go, wow, you guys were so right. Because that's huge to say. That really is.
I don't know, man. Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe's one. I just want to say this. People could say he's a Kobe we want. There was only one Kobe Bryant. There's only one Michael Jordan. There's only one LeBron James.
We've seen Kobe clones. Cam Thomas is a Kobe clone. Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, and these guys. Who was Marshawn Brooks? Remember him? He was the next Kobe Bryant. I mean,
I really think for us, getting a wing is more a priority. Like, I'd be fine. We draft Pearson, but this draft was about finding guards. Next year, it's about your wing position. And there are 6'9", 6'11" wings, like you talked about at the beginning of the show, that we desperately need. It's just, I hope we don't win too much to score ourselves out of top 5. Because if we don't get top 5 next year, this organization really crap the bed.
They have to, man. Or this
organization
is done. All right.
I agree.
Back it up. You have to, man. Like I said, I'd rather have like Cameron if we have to settle for Darren Peterson. Now RL's actually saying that he's more like Gilbert Arenas, and I'll take that over like a Kobe Bryant type because like Kobe, when he got the ball, I mean he's a ball stopper. Like Gilbert put pressure on the rim, man. He breaks the defense down, gets to the rim, sucks in guys, and then you can hit you can hit like wide open shooters, man. Kobe, like I played with guys that want to be like Kobe, and they would take like bad shots, and I'm like, man,
I will say
the energy just sucks out. But I don't want to even play, man. You know what I'm saying?
I will say this: Peterson is definitely going to be some type of special talent. I think he's the ultimate combo guard. Somebody you really haven't seen as a guard in a lot of drafts in a long time. Like he's also physical on defense. Like he could play defense, which is good.
Yeah, but
I
if
just
you look at Atlanta, does he? I mean, can he match up to like a Jalen? What's the guy's name? Jalen Wilson? Not Jalen was Jalen.
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen
No,
Johnson,
no,
man.
that guy's a forward and he's a point guard. No,
No, but
no,
that's what
no.
I'm saying. I want that type of player, man. I want that freak athleticism, man. I really
You
want
know what
that.
that could be? You know that could be Nate Ament, man. He looks like a Laurie Market and KD prototype. He's got the height. He needs to build some muscle, but this guy can knock threes, mid range. He can block shots. He's got some type of interior game. It's just everybody sees him as like the 5th pick in this draft, but he could be a potential special type big, similar to a Jalen Johnson, Laurie Market, and S
Oh, they
player.
lost that
So
game. I thought they won against the Spurs. I thought, wow.
Spurs were smart this year in getting veteran depth. That if they lost some of their young guys, they had enough veteran depth to at least keep them going. So their gym did a good job this summer.
No, I was watching that game and I'm like, what level of basketball? I played in men's leagues when I was younger. And I would just play out there. I would just go on the courts and actually just play basketball, man. That's it. And I coach like 5th and 6th graders. It's a challenge. We was out there today. It's a work in progress. Most of them are really raw, and my son is on there too. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that, man. But you gotta get the best player to like get him to get everybody else involved, man. There's only really one good player on the team. I'm like, man,
That's why we got.
I suck at drafting.
That's why we got to handle this trade deadline very well, because some of these vets do got to get off the team just because we need, Danny Wolf and maybe Trey Orr if he gets called to get the minutes. They need the experience, and these vets, they're transitional vets. Most of these vets, maybe MPJ and Claxton, you can make an argument, but besides those two, the other vets on this team aren't really needed right now. That's Terrance Mann, Haywood, Highsmith, Jalen Wilson, Tyrese Martin, the Cam Thomas one. I think you're probably getting a 2nd-round pick for him at this point. I don't know if anybody's desperate to give anything close to a first for him, and he only played 6 games.
Man, the referees aren't. We seen you saw my Cam Thomas exposed video that I did, man. If the referees aren't like calling ticky-tack fouls for Cam Thomas, then I mean he was just rendered useless, man. He was like just getting frustrated because he wasn't getting the calls. And like I said, you ain't gonna get those calls, man. Like come playoffs, and they're gonna up the physicality and.
I'll be honest. If you look at our current rotation, Cam does very well as a 6-man right now. We need somebody off the bench that can give you offensive firepower. On the starting lineup right now, Drake Powell is a way better guy at the starting 2 position because he's athletic. Cam isn't. He plays defense. Cam doesn't. And he could get to he has athletic finish at the rim. He also has the height factor. Like he has the strengths that Cam doesn't have. Like for Cam Thomas, if he is on this team some way, somehow, he's only going to be your 6-man going forward, which isn't bad. We need a 6-man, but he doesn't fit the starting lineup anymore because he doesn't play the positionless defensive style that they've been trying to play the last few games. So if Cam stays, it's probably going to be as a 6-man right now.
He says the ruler says over here that you can't compare casual ball. No. Listen, I have pro skills, man. All right, I just don't have like pro genetics. That's the difference between the NBA and your regular average hoopers out here. Like you see the guys in the one-on-one space, off the dribble, baller's life. Is that you have 6'8", 6'9" guys that could do what they do. Now you watch my guy, I could do it. I could shoot the ball, I could post up small defenders, I could take bigger defenders off the or slower defenders off the dribble. I'm just not 6'8" or 6'9" with like freakish athleticism. That's the difference between me and you. But in terms of the skill, no, I have the skill, man. Go ahead, Jonathan.
And Rodriguez, you said Drake Powell reminds you of Iman Shumpert. He has a little bit more edge comb in his game. He's got athletic finish at the rim. He can dunk. He's working on 3-point shots. I really see Drake Powell as a potential starter for us because he's your best athlete right now. And like I just said with the Cam Thomas situation, Cam doesn't do the stuff that Drake Powell can do defensively and with athleticism.
How does he match up? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's true. Listen. Oh my gosh, these guys don't get it, man. I gotta get a video of myself, man. You'll see. I play just like a pro, man. I don't over dribble the basketball. I play the angles. I go straight lines. I have footwork. I have the up and under moves. I've been playing a long time. The ruler. I'm 47 years old. I've been playing basketball since I was like 14 years old. I started late, but I played over 20,000 something games. I practice. I work on my games. I look at the other pros out there, and I said, okay, let me work on this. Let me work on that. Let me work on this. I'm just not 6'8". If I was 6'8", 6'9" with my skill set, I would be in the NBA. I would.
No,
It's just, yeah, I would. I work on my game, man. I'm always out there working on my game. Always.
that's very important. That's what I like about Drake Powell and Yegor. They're listening a lot to guys like Vince Carter. They're doing their work, writing notes down. Like they're getting the habits down, which is good. I think that's what we need to see more from with their playing time. I just think Jordy just needs to fully trust them because these guys are your future. Maybe Ben Seraph is not. That's totally fine. Nolan Traore still up in the air, but Danny Wolf, if at least 3 out of 5 of these guys need to be rotation guys like we agree on. So hopefully they get more playing time when they trade some of these vets, but December 15th can't come soon enough. We got to move some of these vets. We got to get some final assets because starting next summer, we start making a run back to competing and hopefully eventually contending. It's just some of these vets don't fit the current timeline. And for Jordy, you can play them all you want, but they're going to get moved eventually if you keep doing that. And your young guys need the playing time way more. Like Terrance Mann, I don't know if we're trading for anything, but I'll attach a second round pick to move him at this point just because I need Drake Powell to start with Yegor. Like he's right now blocking that, unfortunately.
Like I said, I'm just looking at Atlanta's roster, and I like Drake Powell, and I don't know if he looks shorter than 6'5", man. I don't see that.
He plays really great defense. You see him guard Desmond Bane in that Magic game. Look at the highlights film of him playing defense. He's guarded Desmond Bane. He had a defensive play on Cade Cunningham. Nobody was stopping Cade Cunningham on our team. Only one guy was able to, and that was Drake Powell, who played above level defense, didn't foul him. He actually held his stance against him. He moves well in the court. This guy can move his feet well in the court to stay on guarding his man, which not a lot of our guys really can do. So I like his defensive effort. I agree. He's not a 6'9" guy. That would be even better, but he definitely fits your backcourt on the defensive end. And he's more than a 3-and-D guy. I saw this guy make a one-legged mid-range shot that Kevin Durant made a few years ago. How can somebody that young already has that type of advanced skill set where you're seeing it? Like Drake Powell is definitely starter material. It's just this Terrance Mann stuff is ruining that right now. And Jordan needs to put a stop to it soon because you're not making Mann's value better and you're ruining Drake Powell's chance to progress. So, like, that situation needs to get fixed soon.
Well, maybe hold on. Maybe I could play in the pros, man. If the referees are going to give me actually the benefit of the whistle, they're going to call ticky-tack fouls. Anybody can play in the pros, man. It's just that when they up that physicality, you need to be strong, man. I mean, you got to hit the weight room. I mean, that's the difference too. These guys are like really, really strong. So, you need like 3 years of weight training if you're going to play against pros, man. I mean, basketball is basketball. It's putting a ball in a hoop. Again, you just have a bunch of 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" guys that are really, really long, and you got to be. If you're undersized, you better be able to shoot the basketball, man. You need to shoot like 40-something% from the 3-point line, man, so you can like get those guys off balance, man.
No, I definitely agree. And for us, we definitely got to find that athlete next year's draft. I just think getting a wing would really transform our team well. And here's another thing. If we want to get a second pick in next year's draft, we should talk to OKC. They have 4 picks, BK, in next year's draft, but they have 0 roster space. We have movable picks later down the line that they can utilize, and they have picks in next year's draft that we can utilize. If we're not necessarily trading over our vets, try to do a pick swap with OKC at the deadline where if we can find a way to come away with that Clippers pick they have, which looks really valuable, we might be able to come away with 2 lottery picks or at least 1 pick later in this round potentially. Like, that's definitely a risk we should take with a team like OKC because we need more than just 1 pick, especially when we're not guaranteed the worst pick now because we're winning. So the Nets definitely need to get a safety net with a second pick.
Well, you said Mike Jones, ruler? Who's that? You say he's a worldly talent overseas. He's 6'9". Do they have a scouting report on him, man?
Is he in next year's draft? I'm not sure about that.
No, he said he's an overseas player. He says Mike Jones is I don't see him over here in terms of like, did he even make it to? There got to be a reason. I got to see. Hold on. I got to watch this game then. I'll look him up. Oh, here we go. 6'5", 204. Let me put it on screen over here, man. They said he's 6'5", not 6'9". The ruler, not 6'9". He's actually 6'5". So let's see. And as a guard, in the you got to be able to actually pass the basketball, rebound, maybe like play make somewhat. Like you look at Lonnie Walker, he averaged 1.4 assists. Meanwhile, the top guards are averaging like 5.5, 6 assists a game. So I gotta look at him. I gotta watch him, the ruling, and see, why he's not in the NBA, man. There has to be a reason why. Yeah, go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting few weeks because trade deadline starts December 15. I feel like we're in a decent position where our rookies are starting to show those signs of good growth with their games. So that's a positive. MPJ and Claxton's values are very up right now. I think they're each worth the first. It's just Sean Marks' organization has to be very busy on the trade deadline. Like you have $50 million in extra cap space. You can facilitate a lot of deals. Like there's a lot of moves potentially happening. Detroit might become aggressive going after somebody big. Utah might sell Laurie Marketing for a steep price. Like there's a lot of movable stuff going on. The Giannis situation, Milwaukee, he's out right now. Their team is a disaster without him. So the Nets are in a great position to do some great business of coming deadline. It's just we have to be active. We cannot just do a Haywood Highsmith for another second and call it a day. Like you have to figure out who's not a part of this team going forward and who could be. So I feel like we're getting some answers potentially, but we also have to remember just because a guy's playing really well right now for us, does that mean they're automatically a long-term part of the future, or are they movable for the right price right now? We didn't take that with Dennis and Cam last year, and that kind of bit us in the ass. So we have to be even more aggressive with that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, can you hear me, Jonathan?
Yeah, can you hear me?
No, yeah, because this my whole screen is actually frozen. I was going to show the scouting reports to the ruler over here, man, but my whole thing is frozen here, man. I'm frozen on the screen. I can't do anything here, man.
Oh, damn.
As long as you can actually hear me, that's what really
All right, you're
matters.
back. You're back. You're back.
Here we go. All right, let me show the scouting report to the ruler over here when it comes to Mike Jones, and nobody cares about what you can do, offensively for the most about your strengths, because like good like defenders and good like schemes defensively can take away your strengths. So you got to work on your weaknesses. Cannot create for teammates or himself, which is a real negative at the guard position. Ball handling and passing are poor, even for an off guard. Too trigger happy from the outside. Is an incredible streaky shooter. On ball defense is suspect, and he can be broken down by a good ball handler. Does not run off screens very well. So if you have all these other weaknesses, that's the main thing you need to be able to do is actually shoot the basketball at a really high clip and come off screens. If you can't dribble the basketball, if you can't really create, you look at Cam Johnson, he's really good at that, coming off screens.
Not anymore.
And that can actually cause like mismatches, and then you can actually get good, Yeah. So again, I mean, there's weaknesses right here, man. So, that you totally missed on Mike Jones. And again, there's like 6'8", 6'9" guys that can do what like a lot of 6'2", 6'3" guys can actually do now. Oh, yeah, Mike James. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Mike
I remember Mike
James. Is that the guy that we had with KD recruited?
Yeah.
Oh, he made some crazy shots. He made like a circus jump shot. I'm like, I've never seen someone make a jump shot like that before. That was crazy. That was a fun time. But no, we definitely need to get an athlete in next year's draft, or at least a big wing. I think Caleb Wilson, that guy has all NBA defense potential. This guy leaps off the pages. He dunks. He's got a midi shot working on a three, but his defense is scary. Him and Drake Powell together would definitely give us a potential all NBA defensive squad.
Man, you on this Drake Powell wave, dude.
Listen, I legitimately think he's a steal of draft because nobody else that we drafted
has the. Wait, hold on.
He is. He is a steal of draft for us right
over
now.
Ace Bailey and
For us right now, with our circumstances, no. Is he better than those three guys with what their skill sets are? No. But as far as what we don't have, he's athletic. He has a mid-range shot. He has a three-point shot he's working on. He can play make, but his athletic strength on defense as well is really good. Like, he's guarded some of the best players so far. Desmond Bain, Kate Cunningham, even Payne Pritchard and Anthony Simons, these 2 games, he gave him a lot. So, like, he's definitely been a huge part of the defensive energy we're trying to create on this team. Hardest players. Like, I just think with what we're trying to build right now, BK becoming a faster, more athletic, stronger team, Drake Powell is definitely a part of that. Like, I think Jaeger was also a decent pick. I wouldn't have drafted him in the lottery per se, but he's definitely been really good. He's worked a lot on his game, and I'm definitely glad that I've stood by him when other people were going against him because he really is starting to show what he could do. But yeah, besides that and Danny Wolf, maybe with Nolan and Saraf, were those the 2 wise decisions for us? Maybe a wing or a big should have been a bigger priority. Maybe there. That's what we probably needed to fix at that time. Unfortunately.
Yeah, hold on. Why Mike James is not in the NBA? Because he shoots. When he was in the NBA, 28% from the 3-point line. As an undersized guard, you have to be able to shoot 40%, man. You can't shoot like way below average for an undersized guard. Especially like in today's NBA, man, where these guys are just like super long and the way they can move laterally. Now, let me see. This is in the 3-point shots, 26%. This is in the EuroLeague, man. No, this is in the NBA. So 26% from the 3-point line. That's why he's not in the NBA. Because he can't shoot threes. Exactly why Mike James is not in the NBA. You got to be able to shoot the 3 as an undersized guard, man. Have to. It's critical.
Very fair point. This will be a very interesting few weeks for the Nets because moves are coming. Like, we're not going to stay with this roster. It's just, what value can we get back for some of these guys? I think besides Claxton, MPJ, you're not going to get crazy value back for anybody else. So we might have to take what we can get with some of these players, but we need more playing time for these rookies. Like, that's the key to this year. And with Jaeger and Powell, with their increased minutes, Jaeger played 29 tonight, which is good. Like, we definitely just got to keep raising the ball with them and let them get better at their games. These vets, transitional vets, some of these guys. So, like, I just hope those decisions get made sooner rather than later because these vets are not going to be here in a few months, and they're taking up some space right now.
Well, we don't know. You can't have a team with just all rookies. You need some veterans, and you don't got to play them.
We have the cap space we have cap space this summer to get more vets, so that's my only thing. It's like maybe you keep 1 or 2 vets, but 3 or 4, I think, are definitely might be out of here soon, at least. The Terrance Mann one, I think that's only an emergency trade. I don't think anybody realistically wants him making that type of $15 million. But there's a big injury bug going on right now, so maybe the Nets will catch a break and could trade him somewhere for somebody. I just don't know who.
Nah, I mean these GMs right now are being really, really smart. Because they would have picked up Claxton. Because I remember, it was last season that Sean Marks was trying to shop Claxton for 2 first-round draft picks and couldn't get that.
Because his value wasn't good at the time. I thought Marks was crazy for that. I'm like, really, 2 picks? Like, how about 1? Like, Sean Marks was really placing a high price on him. Like, that was wild.
Yeah, so this is a scouting report on Mike James here, man. And he's a shoot first point guard, not a pass first point guard. Let me see. Yeah, he doesn't guard. That's true too. So as a smaller defender, the ruler, you have to be able to pick up 94 feet, right? You have to be like if you look at what's his name, Davion Mitchell. Go watch Davion Mitchell out of Miami, the Miami Heat, and see how he picks up 94 feet and fights through screens. If you get screened off really easily, that's not a good thing. But if you look at Davion Mitchell, he fights through those screens, those picks, and he's a bull, man. Shot selection could be streaky, takes too many outside shots. Well, if he's not really hyper athletic, I mean, that's the only thing he really has going for
You
him.
know what it is? He's part of a previous era where small guards they got passes here or there, but in this new era, especially with the 1 and 2, they're getting bigger lineups out there. Like with Jaeger and Powell, for instance, they do that. Like you have a
And
6'8", 6'6"
You see how
guy.
Diego struggles, right? Just to finish, and
Right,
he's
but he's
six
getting
nine.
better at it. He's getting much better at it, though. Like he's getting more confident. But I do agree that he needs to get stronger, especially on defense, which will come with time. But I'm just saying, like this new CBA era, NBA era, like they want the 1 and 2 to be stronger on defense, be able to move more with the ball in their hands, and be able to find their players. Like just with some of these small guards now, there's less room for them. Like Cam Thomas, unfortunately, he's in the position of Mike James in where he could do a lot of scoring, but it's everything else about his game where they see 6 man and nothing else. So that's something Cam will have to figure out next summer when he's a free agent. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, there's an evolution going on with the 1 and 2 positions. They want bigger guys that could be more athletic, could play defense, distribute better, and just that's what they're
Yeah, I
looking
mean,
for
look
right
at
now.
AJ DeBonsta coming out, man. He's 6'9", and you can't have like 6'1", 6'2". Like,
Right.
imagine like AJ DeBonsta guarding like a Cam Thomas, man.
That would be nasty. Come on.
We're not winning that game. I mean, we're not winning. You have to match up to an AJ DeBonsta with in terms of length, strength, physicality, man, and you have to be able to match up to that. You can't you can't have like Shaq in his prime. You can't have um a 6'2" guy guarding Shaq, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's
You
what
have
the
to
Nets.
match up.
And I think that's what the Nets are starting to figure out a little bit. I mean, I think our starting lineup, if you added Drake Powell, would be definitely a total lineup, better defensive effort. And the great thing, this thing about Cam Thomas so far is a lot more guys are getting more shots with each other. They're passing the ball a lot more, that everybody's getting involved, especially the rookies. I felt like with the rookies with
Yeah,
Cam,
I
he was
just told
taking a
you, man.
lot of
I used
shots
to.
and they were just standing in the corner. And you saw with Jaeger, especially in the minutes with Cam, he wasn't even taking those shots. Like these rookies their confidence is way up more without Cam. Unfortunately, I know
Well,
some people won't
when
hear
you
that, but
touch the
they're playing a little
basketball,
better.
that's what I was saying. I was just about 20 minutes ago. I used to play like I used to play basketball in the parks with guys that wanted to be Kobe back in the day. And you're wide open, you're cutting, and I'm like, yo, I'm open. You just take a bad shot, like a fall away shot, and you miss. And the other team gets the bat. You just don't want to be like, man, I don't want to even play, man. Like you don't feel like I play with guys. We used to say they went nut, like they don't pass the ball or anything like that, man. There's guys like that, man. And when you don't touch the basketball, you don't feel like you're part of the game, and you got
Right.
so yeah. That's a
That's why
knock.
I feel
Hopefully
like
Cam
if
Thomas is actually watching though.
yeah, that's why I feel like if there was some way to salvage his relationship with Cam, he'd have to be a 6 man. I know he wouldn't want that role, but he actually fits better as a 6 man because our starting lineup is more defensive worthy, pass the ball more. Cam, we don't have a 6 man right now to really give us offensive spark. Cam actually can fit with the guys off the bench. It's just I know a lot of people who like him want him to be a starter, but he doesn't fit the starting system that a lot of teams are implementing right now, being more physical, being more defensive, shooting more threes. Like Cam in a 6 man role, he could give you an easy 20, 25 points off the bench. We agree on that. It's just Cam, unfortunately, probably doesn't want that role, but he doesn't have a lot of
No, I mean you're not going
options.
to give a 6 man with the new CBA $100 million. And look,
Not
any
100
of these in the
million, like
lineup,
maybe
the
maybe a 20
referees,
million salary for 2 years or
the
something like that.
referees were cheating for Cam Thomas because this is something I'm noticing over here. I'm watching other leagues. I'm watching like FIBA basketball now. I've been watching the off the dribble. What else? Baller's Life. And they have referees, and they like they're not giving ticky tack whistles over there, man. I
Yo,
think the
or
big
it's
three too.
funny.
They're not giving these ticky tack whistles. So like I mean, the first 3 or 4 games, Cam Thomas was getting through. He had that 40-something point game. He was going through the free throw line. You breathed on him, it's a foul. So
It's
then before he got hurt, the last couple of games, they wasn't giving him those whistles. They wasn't giving him those calls, and he struggled.
He only had one game where he had 8 or 9 assists, and we said he needs to have a big playmaking year, like 1 out of 7. It's like nothing has changed about Cam's game. I think he'd be a fine 6 man for us. It's just him and his agent probably have other plans in place. That's why you probably got to flip him.
Nah,
But
they're delusional. You know,
Yeah,
because like I
I
said,
agree. I don't just
nowhere around the league can you put Cam Thomas and say, "Hey, I'm going to run my offense to him," man. I mean, I'm
not in the
trying to figure
starting.
out for the last 2 years where can you put him at, where he said where he's going to be the number one guy you run your offense through. Where in the league? Where?
It's only in a six-man role where he can score as much points as you want. Everybody else just a supporting role. But in a starting lineup, you can't be the number one guy and take shots away from your second, third, and fourth guys. And unfortunately, we saw
But
that a lot, and that
he
doesn't work.
feels he's that number one guy. He feels like he's one of the best players in the NBA. I'm like, dude, you're not. You know, the only
Fortunately,
reason why you score a lot of points is it's only when the referees are just giving you those ticky tack fouls, man. When
the
he's throwing his head up, I'm like, I'm looking at this shit. This is not a foul, bro. Like I'm watching other leagues, I'm watching FIBA. You know, I'm like, you're not getting those calls. That's why a lot of the B teams, you know, when they send them over there to FIBA, they struggle. Remember that team with Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson? Like Cam Johnson couldn't get off the bench. I mean, it's a different league. You're not getting like even like the center, right? The center, there's no 3 seconds. The center can sit in the paint all he wants. There's no 3 seconds. That's another way that Cam Thomas and some of these guards can actually score.
The biggest problem with Cam was he put on weight last year because they said he needs to be more physical as a player. He did that, hurt his hamstring. He lost a lot of weight this past summer to get back to his normal weight, still popped the hamstring. Like, unfortunately, his health is the one definitive thing you could say, that's why I'm not seeing this guy as max money, number one or number two option. If he can't be healthy and available, it really hurts his stock tremendously. But realistically, given what we have right now, a six-man role would suffice for him. It's just him and his manager are going to look elsewhere, unfortunately. It's just we didn't have enough time to really figure that out for him, and he was against it. So when you're against a role that could suit you, there's nothing really else to do or say but goodbye and wish you the best of luck. That's just where it feels like it's going. But if he did want to stay, a six-man role is not the worst thing in the world for him. Oh, my God. Yo, BK, that trolling job by you was crazy. Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
You can shoot as many shots as you want. You don't have to pass the basketball. You're going to be Kobe Bryant.
I can't, crazy. You know, Ed, Aura, you're funny, bro. 6 picks for PJ. I wish we could pull that off of multiple teams, man. Let's MPJ's worth at least a first right now. I don't know who'll trade for him.
The way he's playing right now, I would say 3. Because there's a lot of value in him being able to get the shots that he's getting in 1 dribble, 2 dribbles. Because you gotta remember, you know, there's a 24-second shot clock, man. So you know, like him being able to like really score in 1 dribble, like off of triple threats, moving, cutting. I mean, it's so valuable, like in the NBA space, you know.
No,
really,
I understand.
Really valuable.
Maybe a second protected pick, but I don't see anything more than 1 or 2. But maybe there's an argument made there. But I think a team like Detroit might consider him. They have Tobias Harris expiring contract. They have Jaden Ivey, who's also on expiring contract of sorts, and they have draft capital. So that's one team to look at. I also heard Jeremy Grant in the first from Portland. Portland is really playing well right now. Like they're really starting to figure some stuff out. So there are maybe
early, man. It's early. I've been watching the NBA for over 30 years, man. I've seen teams you would think, okay, they're starting off really good, and they look good. They actually going to really like do some damage, and then come after the All-Star break, they just spiral down like a sink, man. And then I've seen teams that are struggling, you know, like let's say that in the Brooklyn Nets situation, 3-10, and they wind up going to the Eastern Conference Finals and actually making a deep playoff run. So we got to let it play out, man. You know, let's give it like 25, 30 something games, man, before we really start like, you know, saying like, oh, Portland is going to beat that team.
Oh, no. I know they're going to be a middle dweller team, maybe near late play-in or near lottery, but they are definitely showing you some effort. That's all I want to say. Then they might be a team that might want another vet. They would have Drew Holiday who's helping them out. So that's just something to think about with MPJ. But I see reasons for possibly keeping him as a 3rd or 4th option going forward. But we just have to see what happens. I think with MPJ, he has to see how he feels after the next 2 years. Considering some of our retirement, all those things, he is playing well right now. I'll give you that. It's just
it's like judging guys in the preseason, man. I remember when the Nets were in New Jersey, Boki Nakbar had back-to-back 35-point games in the
I
preseason.
remember
I'm like, I was telling my boys, I'm like, yo, man, this nigga's nice. And 6 months out of the, I was telling him, I'm like, Bogey knock, and he had hops, man. I don't know. I mean, he was like, one-dimensional as a player, pretty much. But I mean, he did have those back-to-back 35-point games, and then 6 months later, he was out of the league, man. No other team wanted him. So like, we have to really, really like, take it one game at a time, and give it time and see whether like, these guys can really, like Portland can really like do some type of damage. Yeah, Spurs is actually looking really good, man. And I was watching like Stephon Castle, and I'm like, all right, Stephon, I see why like Dylan Harper's actually on the bench, man. Again, that like physicality, athleticism, length, man, being able to finish, defense. I mean, all that stuff is really important. Yeah, Jonathan, you there? I think he dropped off, man. All right, so hour and 20 minutes in, I'll wrap this up. We went into like the Dreamerspro thing, for guys who actually came in. He actually said that Terrance Mann 4 years ago was going to be a star. So when Terrance Mann got to this team, I was really, really excited because Dreamerspro vouched for this guy. I'm like, yeah, baby. So we just have to be careful who we listening to when it comes to like, basketball analyses. All right. So definitely like, comment, subscribe, and certainly share the video. When you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.